Edwin van der Sar. In 2005, Manchester United surprised everyone by signing a goalkeeper who had already turned 35. To most people, it felt like an expired deal. Who would entrust the entire goal to someone believed to be past his prime? But Sir Alex Ferguson didn't see it that way. What he saw in Edwin van der Sar wasn't just his 1.97-meter frame or wingspan-like arms, but the calm presence of a guardian unshaken in the storm. Van der Sar arrived from Fulham for just €2 million, a fee so modest, many fans barely noticed. But after just a few matches, all of Old Trafford realized this wasn't a patch-up deal, it was a historic bargain. No fuss, no flash. Van der Sar stood in goal like a silent fortress, precise reflexes, smart positioning, and a strange sense of serenity. Even under immense pressure, he never lost his composure. Centre-back Rio Ferdinand later admitted, "I never saw him panic. Whether in penalty shootouts or tense final minutes, he always made us feel like everything was under control." The 2008 Champions League final was a night of destiny. Van der Sar saved Anelka's penalty, sending Manchester United to the top of Europe. From a signing once questioned, Van der Sar became a true wall. 6 years with the Red Devils, 4 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and a record-breaking 1,311 minutes without conceding nearly 15 matches of clean sheets, a record that made the entire Premier League take notice. Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand, the heartbeat of the defense, a model centre-back for both England and Manchester United. People often say, to win, you must score goals. But first, if you want to avoid losing, you have to keep a clean sheet. In his 20s, Rio stood 1.89 meters tall, with a powerful frame and impressive speed. He began his career as a striker, but coaches quickly realized something important. With sharp tactical awareness, excellent game-reading ability, and elite physical attributes, Rio was born to be the last line of defense. In 2002, after an outstanding performance at the World Cup, Manchester United broke the bank with £29 million to sign him from Leeds United, making Rio the most expensive centre-back in the world at the time. With that price tag came massive pressure. In his first season, he struggled with injuries and the weight of expectations. But once Rio returned to full form, the Premier League began witnessing a centre-back who played like he was programmed. He wasn't just a big, strong defender. Rio was a defender with a modern mindset. He intercepted proactively, anticipated plays with lightning speed, used both feet comfortably, and launched pinpoint long passes with ease. Cristiano Ronaldo once publicly admitted, Rio was one of the players he dreaded the most during training sessions, because he was too smart, too strong, and always read your move before you even touched the ball. For Rio, defending wasn't just instinct. It was the art of blending intelligence and physicality. Over 12 years wearing the Red Devils jersey, Ferdinand won 6 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and left a legacy as the ideal blueprint for the modern centre-back. He was rarely involved in controversy, but he was once banned for 8 months, not for doping, but for a completely bizarre reason. He went shopping and failed to return in time for a scheduled doping test at Carrington. And just like that, he was banned as if he had actually failed the test. Nemanja Vidic. When Rio Ferdinand still lacked a true partner to cover his back, Sir Alex Ferguson made a decision. It was time to bring in a centre-back who could punch, kick, and bleed for the team. And so, in the winter transfer window of 2005, Nemanja Vidic arrived at Old Trafford from Spartak Moscow for just £7 million, a scorching bargain for a true Eastern European enforcer. From his very first appearance, fans saw it, a face cold as a Serbian mafia boss, and eyes like he'd just cleaned up a gang in a dark alley. Not the charming pretty boy type, Vidic was the kind of guy who made strikers double-check their health insurance before trying to dribble past him. He didn't fear contact, didn't fear blood, and definitely didn't fear getting carded. Many times, blood ran down Vidic's face like part of his match kit. One day, it was a torn eyelid, another a cut on the forehead, and sometimes even a busted nose, but no one ever saw him complain. Because for Vidic, pain wasn't a signal to stop, it was a sign to tackle even harder. The Rio and Vidic duo became every defender's dream combo. One was the brain, the other the fist. Rio played like chess. Vidic defended like wrestling. Across 8 years at Manchester United, Vidic won 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League and, of course, a fine red card collection. He ranks in the top 3 for most red cards in MU history, with 8 early showers to his name. Once, while paired with Rio, fans joked, one's playing football, the other's on a mid-match vacation. Patrice Evra. On the left flank of Manchester United, people didn't see just a defender. They saw a running machine named Patrice Evra. He joined Manchester United in 2006 from AS Monaco, with a fee of about £5.5 million, about the same as a modern backup defender, but his contribution was truly legendary. His nickname, the man without lungs, wasn't made up by the media. It came from his teammates, who couldn't catch their breath trying to keep up with him. No showboating, no drama, yet the number 3 red shirt was always flying up and down both ends of the pitch. He attacked, tracked back, pushed forward again, then returned, non-stop. Unlike today's young players who go forward and come back just to catch their breath, Evra went forward and came back to press even harder. The difference? Evra didn't just run a lot, he ran at the right time and was often the first man back in defense, even before the opposing striker. With solid technique, great speed, and excellent anticipation, Evra made every right winger on the other team let out a sigh. Once he locked onto you, your chances of escaping were close to zero. In 8 years, wearing the Red Devil shirt, Evra played 379 matches, scored 10 goals, and helped United win 5 Premier League titles and 1 Champions League, with the peak being the legendary 2007-2008 season. Evra wasn't just brilliant on the field, he was also Manchester United's multilingual diplomat. He was fluent in 5 languages: English, French, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, enough to speak with any referee in Europe without needing a translator. Coach Ferguson even made him team captain in European matches, just so he could speak to referees in their native tongue. And on top of that, he started learning Korean, just to connect with Korean idols, because Evra's idol was none other than his teammate Park Ji-sung, Gary Neville. Let's now look at the opposite flank, where a true icon was born and raised with Manchester United, Gary Neville. In this series, you'll see how Carrington, United's youth academy, produced many legends, and Gary Neville is without doubt one of its brightest stars. He was promoted to the first team in 1992, at just 17 years old. Back then, he was a skinny young defender, called up after an injury to a senior player. But by the time he turned 19, Gary had already become the first-choice right-back in Sir Alex Ferguson's system. He had an average height, about 1.80 meters, not muscular, not lightning fast. But his discipline, precision, and sharp football IQ were what made Gary Neville a reliable wall on the right side of United's defense for almost 2 decades. He never tried to do things beyond his ability, but whatever was within his ability, he did it flawlessly. Because of that calmness, Sir Alex handed Neville the captain's armband for 6 full seasons, a rare honor in a squad full of superstars. Gary Neville played a total of 602 official matches for Manchester United, scoring 7 goals, a modest number, but one that reflected his role as a true defensive specialist. In nearly 20 years with the Red Devils, he helped the team win 8 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, 2 UEFA Champions League trophies in 1999 and 2008, 1 FIFA Club World Cup, and 3 English Community Shields. That's a complete trophy collection, something every footballer dreams of achieving in their career. He was an irreplaceable piece in Manchester United's legendary squad of the 1990s and early 2000s, standing shoulder to shoulder with Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, and Roy Keane. A career that lasted almost 20 years, playing for only one club. Gary Neville was not just a legend, he was the symbol of loyalty, dedication, and pride, known as a one-club man. David Beckham. To score goals, you have to move the ball forward, and in Sir Alex's midfield, there was always a gifted conductor named David Beckham. Mention Beckham, and everyone agrees, no need to talk about his looks, his style speaks for itself. He was the perfect image of a European gentleman, charming, talented, and always looking like he just stepped off a magazine cover. Before arriving at Carrington, Beckham had trained at several youth academies, and by 1992, he was officially promoted to Manchester United's first team. After a few seasons, Sir Alex sent him on a study abroad loan at Preston North End, where Beckham built up strength and gained valuable match experience. Beckham wasn't a fast runner, but he had incredible control over the rhythm of the game. His way of directing play, launching attacks, and delivering passes was top tier, like a seasoned card dealer at a Las Vegas casino. Every time you mention Beckham, you have to mention his magical passing. The curve on his crosses was so precise, even Kevin De Bruyne would want a video call to ask how he did it. In over a decade with the Red Devils, Beckham played 399 matches and scored 87 goals, an impressive number for a wide midfielder. He was a key player in Manchester United's golden generation and an essential part of the historic treble-winning squad of the 1998-1999 season. Beyond the treble, Beckham also collected 6 Premier League titles and another Champions League trophy, a dream trophy cabinet for any footballer. Paul Scholes. Alongside the glamorous Beckham, Manchester United had a blonde warrior straight out of Carrington, Paul Scholes. Another true-born son of Manchester, raised in the city, and committed his entire career to the red shirt. Paul Scholes was promoted to the first team at age 19, and if you don't recognize his face, just look for the guy with sandy blonde hair, an ice-cold expression, and one-touch passes like cheat codes. He was one of the finest midfielders Carrington ever produced. Unlike Beckham, who ruled the wing, Scholes was the kind of midfielder who could pop up anywhere in the center. Endless stamina, laser-sharp vision, Scholes' passes were accurate down to the millimeter. If you're looking for a playmaker who's all about finesse but still tackles like a warrior, Paul Scholes is your blueprint. Speed, ball control, reading the game, long balls, everything flowed from him like a river. Scholes played 499 matches and scored 107 goals, insane numbers for a central midfielder. He helped United win 11 Premier League titles and 2 Champions League trophies, anchoring a golden era that lasted 2 decades. In his final match before retirement, Scholes even picked up one last yellow card just to complete the iconic set. 99 yellows, 9 reds in his career. And like we said when it comes to spending your youth collecting cards, Scholes ranks second, just behind the fireball himself, Roy Keane. Ryan Giggs. The third name in United's legendary midfield lineup is a loyal hometown hero, Ryan Giggs. If Roma had Totti and Inter had Zanetti, then United proudly had Ryan Giggs, a man who spent his entire career repping the red of Old Trafford. Giggs's talent showed so early that Sir Alex himself went to his house to convince his mom to let him join United's academy. That's all you need to know. At just 17, Giggs was promoted to the first team. And from that moment, the left wing at Old Trafford had his name stamped on it. Giggs wasn't just fast. He was speed, with built-in trickery. That fake right, cut left move, left defenders slipping like they stepped on a banana peel. The 2008 Champions League final versus Chelsea proved it. Giggs was already 36, going toe-to-toe with younger stars like Joe Cole, Ballack, and Lampard. Everyone thought he might get outrun, but in the end, it was Giggs who made them bow down. Same class, same confidence, like it was still his prime. Giggs never needed the spotlight, but his trophy cabinet speaks volumes. 13 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, and more FA Cups and League Cups than we can count. Oh, and he holds the record for most appearances in United history. 968 games, 168 goals, numbers so wild even FIFA career mode would struggle to match. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese superstar whose name basically introduced itself. If you've heard of football, you've heard of him. At just 18, he moved from Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United for around £12 million, making him the most expensive teen in football history at the time. And before the flashy suits and diamond watches, young CR7 was all about 2 things: eat and grind, literally, hard work, discipline, and showing up on time. The man brought those to Carrington like it was a starter pack. Everyone remembers that sweaty instant noodle haircut of his because he was always the first in and the last out. One time, Carlos Tevez saw Ronaldo show up before 6 a.m. So the next day, Tevez tried to flex a little by rolling in at 5, only to find Ronaldo already there, juggling the ball half asleep like it was no big deal. No one taught Ronaldo those ankle-breaking stepovers. He drilled them himself. No one gifted him that banana free kick curve. He engineered it in silence. Every stepover, every sprint, every moment that pushed back entire defenses, that was all built from thousands of solo hours in the dark. At his peak with United, Ronaldo was every Premier League defender's sleep paralysis demon. No one dared go 1v1. No one signed up for a 90-minute sprint-off. It was just exhausting. But what made people truly respect Ronaldo wasn't just his skill, it was his steel. He proved the golden rule: no genius ever wins without discipline. In his first run with Manchester United, Ronaldo played 292 games, netted 118 goals, won 3 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and stacked up more domestic trophies than a FIFA Ultimate Team wishlist. Then in 2021, he made his dramatic return to Old Trafford, greeted like a king coming home. But modern football is a cold game. That comeback didn't end in fairy tales. Clashing visions and media drama cut it short. Still, the legacy Ronaldo left at United? Untouchable. He wasn't just a superstar. He was a discipline machine, the blueprint for every young baller, from Carrington to any pitch on this planet. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, one of England's finest strikers and easily one of the GOATs in Manchester United's history. In 2004, Rooney left Everton for the Theatre of Dreams, not to perform drama, but to drop bombs. He was just 19, and United dropped around £27 million, a record-breaking fee for a teenager back then. But it didn't take long for everyone to realize exactly why Sir Alex went all in. Rooney didn't need a warm-up. Even at Everton, he had that built-in killer instinct. At just 16 years and 360 days old, he smashed one past Arsenal, who were unbeaten in 30 games, and became the youngest Premier League scorer at the time. At United, he became the full package power, hustle, crazy spatial awareness, and a finishing toolkit most strikers dream of. Left foot, right foot, headers inside the box or outside dude was a nightmare to mark. He averaged around 20 goals per Premier League season, with peak years hitting 34 wild numbers for any striker. Rooney's most iconic moment? That upside-down bicycle kick against Manchester City in 2011. It wasn't just a goal. It was a cultural reset in the middle of a heated derby, at the perfect moment, flipping the title race on its head. The Premier League later crowned it the greatest goal in league history. No arguments there. Plenty have tried to recreate that magic shout-out Garnacho, but the vibe, the timing, the rawness, pure Rooney, still unmatched. Across 13 years at United, Rooney racked up 559 appearances and scored 253 goals, making him the club's all-time top scorer, surpassing the legendary Sir Bobby Charlton. With the squad, he bagged 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and a cabinet full of trophies, FA Cups, League Cups, Club World Cup, you name it. Those numbers don't just show skill, they stamp his status as a core pillar of the golden Sir Alex era. And here's a fun fact most folks overlook. Rooney started balding pretty early. By 2011, he was like, enough's enough, and dropped a serious bag to fix it. The result? Hair came back, confidence went up, and honestly, man's glow-up was real. Eric Cantona, the last name on this legendary lineup, and the one who once teamed up with Rooney. Some folks are like, wait, Cantona? Really? But if you were around Old Trafford in the 90 seconds, you'd know. No Cantona, no Manchester United comeback. Period. At 26, after a wild streak of being so done with football, like literally tossing his jersey and storming off the pitch, Cantona randomly landed at Manchester United in a move no one saw coming. Back then, United was all over the place like a Spotify shuffle gone wrong. No identity, no real leader, and not enough chaos energy. And then boom, Cantona walked in. He played just 5 seasons before calling it quits in 1997. But in that short time, United went from hot mess to 4-time Premier League champs. Coincidence? Nah. Cantona didn't just play well, he moved like a born leader. Ice-cold calm, silky skills, sharp vision, and the kind of alpha presence Old Trafford had never seen before. And yeah, everyone remembers that defining moment, his iconic 1,995 kung fu kick. A fan named Matthew Simmons shouted something foul from the stands, and Cantona didn't clap back with words. He literally flew in with a full-on kung fu kick to the guy's chest. The whole world froze. He got hit with a long suspension. But to United fans, it wasn't just a kick, it was a message. I don't play dirty, but if you mess with my pride, I won't sit quiet. Oh, and here's the twist. Cantona wasn't just a baller. After retiring, the man played beach soccer, starred in indie films, wrote poetry, hosted art shows, and yeah, even toured with his own band. That's why, whether you love him or hate him, Eric Cantona totally earned his place in United's all-time dream team. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next football story. See you in the next video.